day, man. Oh, fighter of the night. Oh. Champion of the sun. Oh, you're a master of karate. Friendship for everyone. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to ItsKim Live. If you've never seen the show before, hi, I'm ItsKim. This is my show where I talk about pop culture topics that I care about. Usually they have to do with celebrities and law, sometimes mental health, all that good stuff. We've been talking a lot lately about It Ends With Us, Diddy stuff, and wow, do we have a show today? Guys, I'm talking about something today I never thought I would on this show. But here we are. It just kind of tends to be the way that some of these stories go. They go into different directions that we're not expecting. So, here's the way that we normally do the show. First, we start with the main topic. That's what's in the thumbnail, the title, all that good stuff. Then we have our halftime where I communicate with my beautiful, beautiful community of space angels who are all coming in as we speak. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please make sure you've hit that like. Please make sure you've hit that sub. I would really, really appreciate it. And then we have our What the What, which is a section of the show towards the end where we look at something from around the internet that is interesting, funny, crazy, all the good stuff. A good palate cleanser, and also just because sometimes the news in the world just sucks and sometimes we need a break. And I haven't seen what we're going to be looking at. It is all made courtesy of my partner in crime and my co-host, who you can't see, but she is here, producer sister. So we'll go through that all together. And I've got some stuff to talk about today. We've got some Diddy updates. We have a Justin Baldoni update. And we have a Blake Lively update. So we're going to do that. Thank you guys so much, everybody coming in. Thank you so much to General Scott, who has sent me a PayPal. That's incredibly kind of you. And then I'm also seeing that you've given some memberships. Also seeing Pearl Jan sent in a super sticker, which is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. And Jean Rick did as well. Thank you so much for that super sticker. The one up, the hippo, chomp chomp. We love house hippos. We love house hippos. And King Bob, thank you for the gifted membership. Jean Rick, also thank you for 25 months of membership here in the Space Angels. You are amazing. Thank you, Jean Rick. And again, partially why we are called the Space Angels is actually in honor of Jean Rick. So thank you so much. She says, no way Happy Dance would not be anywhere else. Thank you so much. And also for the record, your honor, my love to my amazing mod Linda, saying, sending you and the fam love and positive vibes always. Thank you so much. We do really appreciate that right now. Okay, so we've got lots to go through. I'm really sorry. My nose is kind of running, which is not good. Allergies, I swear. Nonstop. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so we've got stories to go through. Let's do it. It's live. Good times. Here we go. Let me go to present screen. Hello. Yes, this is insane. So as I said, we've got some stories today about Diddy, about It Ends With Us drama. Let's get into all of it. This stream will include speculation and opinion and should not be taken as fact. Always do your own research. Links to these sources are in the description. And yes, they are all there. So if you want to look at the articles, they're there. I have the links down there. And hi, YouTube Human Reviewer. We have tried to ensure that this video is appropriate according to the community guidelines because we care about this platform and we'd like to stay on it. Viewers, please do not send hate to anyone, famous or not. It is not cute. We are all entitled to our own opinion, but do not do anything that would cause harm to people. I do not support hate in any way, shape, or form. And all individuals mentioned in this are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Alrighty, so let's start off with Diddy. So the first thing I wanted to let you guys know about when it comes to Diddy is, yes, this story is still going. And guys, we got another superseding indictment. Yes, so this is now, look, we had one before. Now we have another one that happened at the end of last week. So Sean Diddy Combs allegedly forced employees to work long hours under threat of physical and reputational harm, and forced at least one employee to engage in adult acts with him, according to the new indictment unsealed on Thursday. The second superseding indictment against Combs following his arrest last year on federal charges contains no new charges, but includes additional allegations of forced labor under the racketeering conspiracy count. Okay, so according to this new indictment, Combs allegedly forced employees to work long hours with little sleep, using physical force and psychological harm, withholding money, and threatening to harm their reputations. Combs caused these employees to believe that they would be harmed, including by losing their jobs if they did not comply with his demands. The second superseding indictment alleged, with respect to one employee, Combs used physical harm, psychological harm, financial harm, and reputational harm, and/or threats of the same to cause the employee to engage in acts with Combs. Now, Combs is scheduled to be arraigned in his new indictment this week. So that's what's happening there. It's really, really messed up. And as always, he is denying all the allegations made against him. And his lawyer has said, Mr. Combs has said it before and will say it again. He vehemently denies the accusations made by the Southern District of New York. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, our Costco lawyer, said in a statement on Thursday in response to the superseding indictment, he looks forward to his day in court when it will become clear that he has never forced anyone to engage in adult acts against their will. Sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. Okay. So basically, same denials, more of kind of the same of what we've heard, but more details. And the more details we have, I think the stronger the charges are going to be. Now, the other thing I wanted to let you guys know about when it comes to Diddy World. There's always new lawsuits coming out when it comes to him. It just seems to kind of be the way that it goes. But we had a special one come out. And I'm just going to put this up on the screen. So this is from Ashley Parham, is the plaintiff. She is being represented by Ariel Mitchell Kidd, which I'm sure some of you will recognize. And we're going to go through the defendants list. Hang on with me. So Sean Combs, Christina Coram, Shane Pierce, Ruben Valdez, John Pelletier, I think is how you say it. Odell Beckham Jr. Yes, I believe that is the football player. Drew Desborez, a.k.a. Drewski. Jacqueline Wright, a.k.a. Jaguar Wright. Helena Harris Scott. Matias Gonzalez. Brandy Cunningham. Janice Combs, so Diddy's mom. Keith Luck, a.k.a. Big Homie CC, and John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10. I'm going to put it this way. There was a long time ago when all of this Diddy drama started to go down that I started noticing that Ariel Mitchell Kidd, the attorney, kind of popped up a lot. And it's kind of like that clip in Harry Potter when it's like, why is it always you three? Why is it always Ariel Mitchell Kidd? And there's been enough controversy surrounding. I am not overly sold on this at this time. I'm going to wait for receipts because to me, this just seems a little bit far-fetched. And I'm not going to go through the lawsuit with you guys because what is alleged in here is awful, and if there's any chance that it's true, my heart goes out to her, but it's just, this is getting bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Producer sister, do you have anything you want to add to this? Nope, yep, I'm not convinced, but I will let you guys know if anything comes out that makes me go like, yeah, we should look deeper into this, because for now, I just don't. So that's kind of where we are with the Diddy stuff. I love seeing you guys being like, yikes, and like, this is weird. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to discredit victims here, but I think, unfortunately, as we've gone through the Diddyverse, Diddygate, and some of these lawsuits, we have been seeing inconsistency, unfortunately. And we have been seeing cases like what we saw with the Jane Doe that went at Jay-Z as well as Diddy. Like Diddy's in that case too. And now it's ended up in a defamation lawsuit with Jay-Z, and now statements that have been entered in under oath that she lied essentially, and there's all this other stuff going on. We've also had other drama with other people who have come forward saying that I'm this person, and then they get exposed that they're not, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. So I am focusing more now on the federal case at this point. I think that one I'm gonna go with. I think the feds have pretty serious receipts at this point, and I will be watching to see where those go. Just checking on the chat. How you guys doing? Everybody good? I'm gonna ask you guys, please make sure you've hit that like button. Please make sure you've subbed. It means the world to me. Thank you. Alrighty. Shall we go into the fun story? Oh, let me pull up my script. Over the last couple of weeks, as I mentioned on the show recently, there has been a development when it comes to the It Ends With Us drama, particularly when it comes to Blake Lively, and it was reported that she has hired an ex-CIA employee to help her with her crisis PR. And since that has happened, we have started to see more articles coming out about Justin Baldoni. Um, you know, talking a lot about his religion, his toxic positivity. Um, Basically, you're too nice, you're too religious, you're too this, you're too that. And this is also where I sit back and I go, that's all fine and well and could all be true, but does that equate to SH? Because I'm not really seeing that. Like, I don't know if you guys are. Let me know what you think in the chat, but I just think it's a little bit ridiculous. But we had a new hit piece come out. And it was one that as soon as it dropped and I started looking at it with my friends, we all were just laughing of like, what am I even looking at? But in order for you to understand specifically why this is so funny, I have to give you guys some backstory. And I hope that you will humor me and have patience with me. And that's why we had the poll question as you came in, which is, do you know Dayman from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? And the majority of you do not. So we're going to have to explain this a little bit, and I hope you guys will give me a moment to get there. So there is a television show that has been going on for over a decade now. Actually, it's probably closer to like 50, it's more than 15 years now. Oh my gosh. Called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is about a group of friends that a few of them own a bar. They all frequent this bar, and every episode they get into absolute shenanigans, and it is wacky, off the wall, bizarre, borderline offensive, strange humor. It's not gonna hit everybody's funny bone, but it has a cult following. People adore this show. If you've ever seen it, put a 1 in the chat for me. I just want to get an idea of kind of what we're, everybody that's here.
You want to feel old?
Yeah, I guess.
The first episode was released August 4th, 2005. They are coming up on 20 years.
Okay, so the show's been going on for a while.
Season 17 debuts this June.
Yeah. Okay. So, back in 2008, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia put out an episode of their show called The Night Man Cometh. Now, The Night Man Cometh, the plot of this show. I look at Medora Art going, what? So excited. The Night Man Cometh was an episode that revolved around Charlie, one of the characters, writing a musical in order to woo a waitress that he was in love with. And the plot of this play is strange, and I don't know if I can fully explain it while maintaining monetization. But it was quite bizarre. There was a I'm getting mic not on.
What?
Katie just said my mic not on. Oh, producer sister's mic isn't on.
That's be correct.
Oh no.
I didn't have my mic on. I'm sorry.
Oh good. Okay, so she's on now. Thank you very much, guys. Sorry, that scared me. Yeah, so Yeah, so the show started in 2005 then, if you guys missed that. This episode came out in 2008. They basically take over like an auditorium, like a school auditorium, and they put on this show. It is a musical. The one song you may have heard from it, as I joked earlier in the show, is Dayman. Oh, fighter of the night, man. Oh, champion of the sun. That's why there's a sun. You're a master of karate and friendship for everyone. I mean, like, high class, incredible. Steven Schwartz could never type level musical, okay? Like, it was a lot. But specifically, there is a musical number in this show called You Gotta Pay the Troll Toll. I'm hoping the GIF works. Yes. Okay, because I figured this is probably the best way that I could show you. Yes, that is Danny DeVito dressed up as a troll who is talking to basically like a demon character who is attempting to come in and hurt a little boy, saying that if he wants to come and hurt the little boy, he's got to pay the troll toll to get into this boy's soul. You've got to pay the troll toll to get in. This is a real thing. I am not making this up. And this episode of this show became a mass favorite, complete cult following, so much so it actually ended up going on tour. Okay? Live Nation approached them to go on tour. And originally it was going to be like a 30-date tour where they were going to go to bars and do this whole show in its entirety, going city to city. They ended up doing 6 dates, and it was recorded for a bonus feature on one of the DVDs that they released, and it was massive. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but this also kind of gave rise to the term of the troll toll. Why is this relevant? Because Business Insider has decided to put out this hit piece on Justin Baldoni. And I'm just going to read this to you and you'll get why this is relevant. 3 days before Justin Baldoni sued the New York Times, someone paid $120. Not $120,000, not $1,200, $120 to boost content about an emoji integral to the suit. As the legal battle between It Ends With Us co-stars Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively continues, one case could hinge, in part, on an emoji. A December 31st lawsuit against the New York Times by Baldoni, his business partners, and his publicist claimed that the Times' omission of an upside-down smiley face emoji in a quote that it published make it look as if his PR team was intentionally smearing Lively. After the lawsuit was filed, the missing emoji became a key part of the discourse around the celebrity feud, popping up in news stories and online threads. Business Insider has learned that someone paid to amplify stories about the emoji, and did so days before the lawsuit became public. I want to stress, guys, this is a real article. I have the link in the source document in the description of this video. I am not making this up. This is real. On December 28th, the person emailed Troll Toll, a service that hires contractors to promote content on X, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok, and other social media platforms. The person who reached out from the since deleted Gmail account who wanted Troll Toll to boost Reddit and X posts focused on 2 things: the name Justin and the emoji of an upside down smiley face. We want more people to offer their opinion on the story, the person wrote. It has to do with a movie. You gotta pay the troll toll, guys. You gotta pay the troll toll to get in. The Troll Toll's founder, KG Summer, who asked to be referred to by his social media alias, said the person purchased a $120 package for a handful of contractors to share, repost, upvote, and comment on relevant content over the course of 3 days starting on January 2nd. After they bought the package, the person shared more details in the chat, asking Troll Toll to set a Google alert for Justin, Blake, and emoji, and to boost content once those terms appeared in the news. Thank you, Carbonize, for the super chat. Who's that click-clacking over my fridge? He recalled that the person asked Troll Toll to focus on posts mentioning the upside down smiley face emoji, meaning or fact that it was omitted. Summer understood the person to be referring to Lively and Baldoni. He had seen the news from the week prior. On December 21st, Times published a bombshell report detailing Lively's allegations that Baldoni publicists had launched an online smear campaign against her, citing a civil rights complaint filed by Lively. Baldoni and his team have denied this. 3 days after Summer received the inquiry, his Google alerts went off. Baldoni had filed his suit, which alleged the Times cherry-picked and altered communications to be stripped of necessary context and deliberately spliced to mislead. The Times quoted one of Baldoni's publicists, Jennifer Abel, texting the other, Melissa Nathan. Wow, you really outdid yourself with this piece. Abel appeared to be congratulating Nathan on a Daily Mail story critical of Lively. Baldoni's lawsuit said the Times deliberately left out the upside-down smiley emoji, often used to convey sarcasm or silliness, at the end of the text, made it clear that Nathan had nothing to do with the story. Also, like the other, messages in that conversation where it does basically say that outright, that it's not even me, is written. If I'm remembering this correctly. It wasn't just the emoji, but I mean, okay. A Times spokesperson said they stood by their reporting and would vigorously defend against the lawsuit. This week, Reuters reported a judge indicated that he might dismiss the Times from Baldoni's case. That's going to depend on a potential amended lawsuit from Justin's team, as they're saying they have additional evidence that they would like to include that may be coming. Before Baldoni's suit, the upside down smiley face emoji, this is a real report, guys, didn't appear to be a part of any significant online conversation. Business Insider's review of the search results on Google and X found no discussion of the emoji between December 21st, when the Times story ran, and December 30th, the day before Baldoni sued the paper. You know what, guys? I think we need to do a mass study where we need to check on every emoji that's ever been created to see how often they're being talked about in public conversation between the dates of December 21st, 2024 and December 30th of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
The day before Baldoni sued the paper. Whoever emailed Summer on December 28th appeared to be aware of how important the emoji would become in the actor's ongoing feud. Summer said he did not know the client's identity, and Business Insider was unable to verify it. Okay. He added that it was the only inquiry he received regarding Baldoni or Lively. One way Summer's contractors fulfilled the client's request, he said, was by boosting threads on X. The author of one thread discussing the Times omission of the emoji, which recently had 1.6 million views and hundreds of reposts, later wrote that he suspected that it had been boosted by a bot network because most of the reposts came from accounts with fewer than 10 followers and no original content. Summer took credit, responding, wasn't a bot network, adding that someone hired paythetrolltoll.com to amplify. Baldoni and his team did not respond to requests for comment. Summer said that whoever emailed him wasn't necessarily aiming for anyone to take a side. He added his site helps clients amplify a message, but doesn't engage in cyberbullying or spreading disinformation. It's a really new look at digital PR. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Regardless of the absolute insanity of now that pay the troll toll has now become a thing that is now associated with this case, and now whenever I think about that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I think about Danny DeVito dancing around that stage, I am now going to remember this article and this whole drama. And I highly recommend, if you guys just want to laugh at something crazy, just watch The Nightman Cometh. Just do it. It's amazing. It's hilarious. It's great. Exactly, Medora. Should we call Pepe, Sylvia?
Thank you, because I was going to say it.
Should we? Its connections are everywhere. There's no Pepe Sylvia. Like, just, I can't. Okay, so here though, let's be objective. Let's forget that this has to do with you got to pay the troll toll if you want to get into this boy's soul. You got to pay the troll toll to get in. Let's say that this is completely accurate, keeping in mind that Business Insider could not confirm who the original person was. This whole thing just seems a bit ridiculous. First things first. I don't believe that $120 is enough to start an internet movement to be able to change a narrative. I don't. I really don't. If it is enough, wow, guys, we need to really, really crack down on our press. Because that's disturbing, if that is the case.
That's all it takes.
If anyone with $120 could change everything, ooh. Secondly, what part of this is illegal? What part of this violates any contract or whatever? Because my understanding was the smear campaign was relevant within the August time period until the film was released. At this stage, you know, the film is out, it's done. I don't know what the legalities are as far as if they could pin this on him and be like, you're guilty of a smear campaign. And that's what it brings me to the point of, did they promote something untrue? They promoted a definition of an emoji. This is not like stop the press's, you know, media manipulation insanity. It's just my opinion, and I wanted to share this with you guys because, believe it or not, there's actually a Wikipedia, like a wiki for emojis. It's called Emojipedia. It does exist. And I found the earliest entry of Emojipedia with the upside down face. And here it is. And as you can see here, it's Wayback Machine. I've got this timestamp to February 29th of 2016. And you can see here, the definition includes joking or sarcasm. Okay? So this was essentially fact, a definition fact, from almost 10 years ago. And I also just want to say new emojis for the Samsung S7 is literally the time frame you're looking at here. I use the Samsung S20, and that's old right now. So the problem is I literally just sit here at the end of this article and I just go, yes, it's possible. And what? And what? This is the worst we've got on Justin Baldoni? You gotta pay the troll toll? I don't... I hope you all can understand why I had to explain what that show is. Because it's just when you look at this whole thing, you step back and you look at it and you go, okay, so you're mad that somebody spent $120 on a troll website to be like, hey, an upside down emoji means sarcasm. Equals profit? I don't... Where...
Or influences a lawsuit?
Where is the beef? What is it? What... Are they going to try to, like, introduce this in court? Are we literally going to have a court day where they're going to have to be, like, paythetrolltoll.com? I can't. Like, I don't... Bring out the muffins. I don't know what is going on. But I'm so incredibly frustrated with this alleged and attempted smear campaign against Justin. Because quite bluntly, I have been the person from the very beginning of this that's been like, if there are things about Justin Baldoni that are not good and we need to know, then we need to know. I am not against looking at evidence. I'm not against, like, looking at the reality of what has happened here. And if Blake Lively is indeed a victim, I want to know. I'm not going to ignore that. But if this is what you guys are doing to try to show us that Justin Baldoni sucks, it's not working. What is this? I can't believe they even bothered to write an article about this. It's insane. This is actually insane. Producer sister, what do you want to say? Because I feel like I need a minute just to, like, see you guys reacting to this. I want to read comments. I want to know what you guys think.
I feel like this is the very definition of grasping at straws.
Hey, man. Ah.
Really? That and insulting our intelligence as, like, readers, as an audience in this case, that especially when it has the word troll in it, I'm immediately going, okay, what is this? Like, it doesn't exactly scream, I don't know, professionalism?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Silky just said, clown world. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, this is a full-blown circus at this point.
Yeah.
And to me, I can't get over the $120 portion of this.
You're gonna, like, influence all of this and change people's perception of what's going on for $120?
Wow.
Wow. That's some powerful
amazing
thing. Like, I'm pretty sure they'd be changing a lot more for how much money you could do some good or bad with.
I mean, we could fundraise that right now and I could pay the troll toll. I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to because I'm a YouTuber and I could get in trouble for that, so I'm not going to. But I'm just saying that it's like, I'm not saying that $120 is nothing, because I know $120 is a lot to a lot of people.
Yes.
But I'm saying in the grand scheme of changing a national dialogue,
$120 is not that much.
that's a joke. This is a joke. It is just as funny as literally watching Danny DeVito jump around in a troll costume saying you've got to pay the troll toll to get into this boy's soul. You got to pay the troll toll to get in. I have no patience for it. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe I'm talking about this. Yeah, not just that. I bought steaks that cost more than that. Were you trying to change the national dialogue, Dreadnought?
Yes, of steaks.
With your steak?
Like, when we see how much these lawsuits cost, and, like, you're paying your lawyer 1 hour for 1 hour's worth of time. That costs more than $120 for most of these lawyers. What?
So that's where they're at.
Yep.
That's where they're at. And I'm just saying, moving forward, and I would encourage everybody, and I mean this in every aspect of media and reporting, whether it is pop culture issues, political issues, etc. Something that I do as a habit is I look at news sources that are neutral, that are left-leaning, that are right-leaning, and I look at it from multiple different countries. Media dialogues are important because sometimes they're being influenced by parent companies that want people to think a certain way, etc. There is power in the dialogue that is in the media. Mm-hmm. There is power in the way that things are said. And people will sometimes hear someone say something and they will believe that to be fact because they've seen it on a channel, but don't actually go and do the legwork and are able to see that doesn't hold up or this doesn't hold up or whatever. We all have the right to do that. We all should do that to be able to get a good idea of what's really going on in the world around us. And the problem is, for me, I look at this story and I go, this is a nothing burger, and it makes me start to wonder, what other stupid crap are people going to try to pull with this? Clearly, paying the troll toll was not below them. So what are we talking about? I wouldn't be surprised if there are more hit pieces coming. I have heard that there is a hit piece coming out about content creators from Business Insider. Has been a rumor. We'll see what happens. I have seen that happen in real time through the Depp trial. A lot of legacy media getting mad that YouTubers are making a living doing what they're doing. Really ticks them off. I think it's a little bit ridiculous and it's stupid, especially the focus on the finances of it all. It's infuriating. But I feel like that's kind of where we're moving forward in. Like, that's what we're going to be seeing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more hit pieces on Justin Baldoni. But just keep in mind, when you... Can I go... Give me a second. I'm going to go back here. If I go... Will it let me? No, let me go back. If you read this headline, right, what is your initial thought process? Is there any, like, are we thinking about troll toll? Are we thinking about how ridiculous this whole thing is, that it's about the upside down emoji? This is insane. This is insane. It's one of the dumbest articles I've read in the past couple of weeks. And I'm tired. And I honestly feel bad that Justin's even having to deal with any of this. Like, even if Justin did something wrong, like, this is stupid. I'm sorry. This is dumb. And from the same, and in the same situation, the New York Times, I understand now, based on Blake Lively's amended complaint, that the texts that were shown in the New York Times allegedly are what Blake was given. So potentially, emojis were removed. They didn't see that context, all those types of things. This is why investigations matter. And this is ultimately why I think in some ways Justin may have a case. Now, it's going to be an uphill battle with the New York Times. We've known this from the very beginning. It is an incredibly difficult thing to fight. And in all fairness, if the New York Times was given information and they went with that information, not believing that it was in malice, and not doing it in a malicious manner, I think it's going to be hard for Justin to win. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the New York Times is in the wrong, if you guys know what I'm saying. And we do need to protect our press. We need to protect freedom of the press. But the fact that this is why I think so many people are so sick of hearing about this story, because they're like, the stupidity of it all is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave it, is dumb. Yes, producer sister.
I think too, right now, we're starting to see a bit of a lull in this case. And people want to keep, different companies and outlets and that want to keep it alive because they've been getting a lot of clicks. Mm-hmm. So when they're not getting anything from legal documents or various people giving stories to the press, they're going to start making some up.
Yep.
Like,
gotta pay the troll toll.
Yeah. And now we're at gotta pay the troll toll.
I gotta tell you guys, Friday before Christmas, I did not think that we were going to be here come March. Mm-hmm. Really didn't. But life is crazy sometimes. Now, moving on to Blake Lively news. The biggest news about her over the weekend was that her new film, Another Simple Favor, premiered at South by Southwest. And she was present and walked the red carpet and greeted fans. And Anna Kendrick was there as well, because she also stars in the film. Colonel Kurtz was at the premiere and had a Justice for Justin sign with a Blake lied shirt on. But People magazine reported it. The big thing that made headlines about this premiere was not what Blake Lively said. It was what Anna Kendrick said. So what happened? Well, Blake Lively says working with Anna Kendrick is the best. The Another Simple Favor co-stars met fans and signed autographs on Friday, March 7th, while promoting their forthcoming sequel to the 2018 comedy A Simple Favor during its premiere. In the process, they shared brief comments about working with each other once again. While meeting fans, Lively was asked what it meant to get back with Anna, per footage shared by Entertainment Tonight. "Oh, it's the best," Lively said, working with Kendrick. "I'm so happy to be here." Now, I want to say something right now. I think that's the right answer. I think Blake said the right thing. I know this is going to be one of these things that everybody wants to jump and hate on everything that Blake does, but it's nice for her to say, it's the best to work with my coworker. I'm happy to be at this premiere. Smile, thank you, picture, move on. Professional. The way to handle it.
Mm-hmm. No story.
Similarly, Kendrick was asked, what does it mean to be working with Blake again? And she responded with, oh, you know, seemingly in a hurry to sign autographs and take selfies with fans. That's a choice. That was a choice. Elsewhere at the movie's March 7th premiere, Kendrick sidestepped a question seemingly about the It Ends With Us dispute when a Variety reporter asked her how she felt about the movie being impacted by everything happening going on in the world. Now, the thing is, everything happening going on in the world, to me, does not mean the It Ends With Us drama. There's a lot of other things going on in the world right now. It's kind of a dumpster fire.
Yep.
Everywhere you look.
Yep.
Okay? We gotta cooperate with one another at this point. We gotta start bringing down the temperature here because it's getting a bit much. But I understand some people may think that it was specifically about It Ends With Us drama, to which Kendrick responded, "Why, what happened? I did ayahuasca last year. The last year of my life is just gone, but I've heard the movie is amazing." And then she kissed and walked away. For those of you that don't know, ayahuasca is a psychedelic that puts you on a pretty intense trip, journey. I don't know what you want to call it. But a lot of people experience essentially ego death through the process. It is usually quite life-changing. There's a lot of very interesting research about it. A lot of people are very passionate about it. A lot of people are very against it. Depends on who you ask if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I've known people who have done it and swear by it and think that it is one of the most amazing things they've ever done. I've personally never done it, and I'm scared to do so. But this is an interesting comment to make, especially paired with, So I think I'm not sure, can't remember if there's anything else here. Yeah, there is. Sorry. Okay, we'll get there in a second.
And with Ryan's comment too.
Yeah. Why? What happened? What have you heard? Right? It's so I think I just want to say, in this situation, I think Anna is the one who has clearly created the press surrounding this. She has created the controversy here in this specific event. I don't think Blake said anything wrong. She showed up. She did her thing. She did her job. She was respectful. She was pleasant. And I'll give her that because it must have been, as much as I'm not happy with some of the things she's done, I do feel that she's lied to me. I'm not impressed with her. I don't like what it appears she has done. But I also think it's important that we don't just try to find every little nitpicky thing we can to be like, this is why everything she does is wrong and everything she does sucks. Right? Because then how are we any better? We just become mean girls at that point, right? You know what I mean? But I feel like this could have been handled better by Anna Kendrick. I'm not overly impressed with that. It was a choice. Now, of course, this then fueled the rumors that have been going on forever that Anna and Blake do not like each other at all. So the director, Paul, had to address this. So this is after YouTuber Melanie King, shout out to her, shared a photo on X of the two actresses on Saturday, alleging that Lively was terrified to walk the red carpet, which honestly, that doesn't surprise me in the least. If it was the case, I would be nervous as well. And because everything you do is going to get picked apart. And Kendrick never wants to work with Lively again. That would not surprise me either. So Paul shut down her claims a day later. You're wrong, wrote the director. That's it. Very compelling. Very compelling compared to what we've seen. I am in shock. So basically, that's what's gone on over this weekend and late last week when it comes to It Ends With Us drama, Diddy drama, all this stuff, many directions I did not think we were going to go in. Who knows if there is a feud between Anna and Blake? I have heard things, but ultimately only the two of them know. They may just both be divas. Divas being divas. I don't know. I personally don't feel like a lot of celebrities are probably super great people. There's a reason I don't like to meet my heroes because I'd probably just cry. But there's the drama. There is where we are at. German Shepherd lady said, okay, but we have to mention Blake's plastic dress, the shower curtain. It was a choice. It was very vinyl. Mm-hmm. It was very shower curtain. But I don't know. Maybe she was nervous it was going to rain. I don't know. Is it fashion, Rando? I don't know. Is it fashion? Okay, we could at least do that. Let's do this. Is it fashion?
It's fashion meets... It's fashion. It's... Excuse me.
Perfection. And with that, we're in halftime. How is everybody? How are we doing? Thank you guys all so much for being here. Please make sure you've hit that like. Please make sure you've hit that sub. I can't believe there's so many of you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's good to see everybody. So this is normally where we have our halftime, which is where I communicate with you guys in the chat. You guys tell me what you think, any feedback, if you've got questions for me, any of that good stuff. And then I'll give you guys a few minutes to write questions, and then I will grab Lacey, because this problem is what I've been noticing is I grab Lacey while you guys are supposed to be writing comments, like, or whatever, and I want to engage, but then it just becomes the Lacey break emojis everywhere, and I don't see your questions because they disappear. So we will do that in a minute. Oh, Silky just said, ugly dress, what the what, please? I mean, we have our moments where we do our fashion what the whats.
Yep, we've done a few.
We've done a few.
It's not a fashion what the what today.
It's not a fashion what
it
the
is
what.
a Reddit story today.
It is. Which reminds me, I need to get that queued up. I suck. Sorry, give me a second.
No, you don't.
Okay. Gonna grab the what the what. Yeah, Angela Dawn, the Simple Favor director, even planted his wife in the crowd to act like a Blake Lively fan. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I wanted to talk about her a little bit today, but I decided not to because I'm angry. And I was already really angry last week, and I really don't want to get angry again. Because, yeah. Some of the things that she said in those comments that she made on Instagram are not cute. I am not a fan.
And not true.
And below the belt, and ridiculous. Okay. Great, we're queued up. Lee said, it's weird. Things come out, and then we get responses like, yeah, but he paid for an emoji. He paid the troll toll.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta pay the troll toll to get in. Yeah, Katie said a Twitter post went viral on X about how crazy Blake was to change her outfit during the premiere, and all she did was take off her jacket.
And this is the thing. People are just looking for things to hate.
Yeah.
And we have to be better than that. If there is something legitimately there that's not right, then that's fine. Then we will call people out for that, regardless of what side they're on.
Yeah.
But we're not going to hate or have a rant or whatnot then for no reason. Just for the sake of having a rant or being angry or throwing hate at people. We're better than that. And it's when you do that, the meaning behind it of when you do have a rant, when you are upset about something, becomes less and less because it doesn't mean anything anymore.
And I think the thing is, too, like, one of the things that Paul's wife was saying was essentially, Blake is the victim, get the facts. Well, the problem is, from my perspective, I've read Blake's complaint, Blake's lawsuit, Blake's amended complaint, Justin's lawsuit against the New York Times, Justin's original lawsuit, Justin's amended lawsuit, Stephanie Jones's lawsuit, as well as the motions to dismiss from Leslie Jones, from the New York Times. Like, I'm running out of brain memory of all of these lawsuits that I have read. And something that has really struck me when it comes to Blake Lively specifically is that there's a number of things that were in her complaint and her original lawsuit that were removed for the amended lawsuit. And they were removed because, I would guess, in part, my own personal opinion, she can't stand by them. Because they are not accurate representations of what happened as we found out more information, or they were things that were taken out of context, essentially lies that were filed in a court of law. And once you lie to me, I don't really believe you moving forward, because I know you will lie to me. And in the case of Blake Lively, it's also ridiculous for her to be like going on and on and on about Justin using the press when that is exactly, allegedly, what she did with the New York Times. This didn't have to be published. This was a confidential document, the complaint. So there's a lot of it's right for me but not for you type thing. There's a lot of that type of thing. And to me, those are the facts because that's what I've seen. over the last couple of months as I've been studying this case. Now, that doesn't mean that nothing happened to Blake Lively, but what it does mean is that there is reasonable doubt. And that's common sense, and I don't think that that makes me a misogynist or someone with a specific political alignment. That's a whole other can of worms there, but I disagree strongly. And because of those reasons, I don't think if we're going to have an issue with Blake Lively, I don't think we need to get into well, her dress was stupid, or the way she looks is bad, or I'm going to make fun of her appearance, or I'm going to, blah, blah. What's the point to that? What's the point to that? It's not a real argument. It's not. It's dumb. My argument is in the consistency of her claims. My argument is in how much has she lied to us?
It's directly in the court filings.
Yeah. That's it. I really don't think it needs to be any more complicated than that. And quite bluntly, some of the things that his wife said, I found incredibly offensive. And I wanted to go on a whole rant today about it, but it's not good for my blood pressure right now because of how much it infuriates me. It's messed up. It's really, really messed up. And her bringing Justin's wife into it and everything, it was just gross. It's just gross. It's not necessary. Anyway.
I think the thing is, and it applies to this situation and a lot of others. Blake's appearance, what she's wearing, all these kind of things has nothing to do with this lawsuit.
No.
Other than I get it from the argument of the wardrobe piece within the lawsuit, but
wearing 3 pairs of pants and being like, I've done wardrobe the best out of everyone is a little bit like.
But her day to day, what she wears, all of that, what she looks like, has nothing to do with that. And if we're stooping so low as to make fun of those things and whatnot, why?
Yeah.
That's not necessary. It's not relevant. And it just, lessens the value of your actual argument about what's going on and what is in the legal filings and all that. It just makes it look like you don't have anything real to stand on.
Yeah. Well, it's like the whole, it feels very middle school in the sense of being somebody going you're ugly, you're fat, you have an ugly face, your hair looks bad, you're this. All of that could be true and they could still be right, hon.
Yeah.
You can change your appearance, you can fix that. You can't fix an ugly heart, and if you're in the wrong because you did something wrong, you did it wrong. And no amount of insulting somebody else is going to change that.
No.
Facts. I don't... I don't have patience for it.
We can not agree with things in that, but we can also do it in a way that we are better as people.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. And it, like Carbonize just said, we are adults. We discuss and debate. We don't mean girl crap.
No.
And that's the thing. We are adults. We can act like it.
I hope we can. I do. I really do.
I mean, I wasn't a fan of the dress she wore on the weekend, but I'm, one, not going to sit here and insult it. And two, if it was something I thought was cute or pretty or whatnot, then I would say it, because I cannot agree with her. I cannot agree with her lawsuit. I can criticize things in her lawsuit because they don't make sense and they don't have proper receipts. I can also say, hey, your dress is cute.
Mm-hmm. I will say too, at least even from my own experience, and again, as I've said before, when I compare my experience to Blake Lively's experience, I understand that if we're going to compare this to a pool metaphor, and Blake is in the deep end, I'm not even in the shallow end. I have a toe, dipped into the side of the pool. But I have had the dilemma of being okay, I have to get a dress and I am going to be photographed in said dress and people are going to see said dress and they are going to comment on said dress. And that type of a thing is incredibly stressful because every bit of you is going to be judged. And, that is a scary thing. And you want to be respectful. You also want to be yourself. I don't have a $20,000 dress budget type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to figure it out. And I don't like tearing down people for that reason.
No.
I don't think that it's appropriate.
It's not needed.
Yeah.
In any way against anyone.
No.
If your argument has to dissolve into that, then you might need to relook at your argument.
Yeah. I also think, like, just to, when it comes to bodies, just while we're talking about that, like, I think we live in a culture where people don't look like what they say they look like on Instagram, right? Like, there's so many filters, and then you've got people that are models, and the thing is, what you don't see is, the photoshopping. But separate from that is the tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars that are spent on body contouring, on implants, on liposuction, on treatments, on lasers, on all those types of things to change the way that you look. And yeah, if you give me $200,000 and a top of the line plastic surgeon, yeah, I'm going to look amazing.
But it's not real.
But it's not real. It's not realistic. And I think we have gotten to a point where we're judging people based on a standard that doesn't even exist. And I wonder sometimes when I've read some of the texts from Blake Lively if that is actually something that she really struggles with.
And understandably.
Absolutely. Now, there comes a point where I feel like, also judging by those same text messages, I don't think that Justin was pushing her to look a certain way through the filming. I believe it's quite the opposite. But it's a lot. It's a lot. So, it's just checking you guys. Yeah. See here? Sorry, chat's funny. And thank you, King Bob. It's very kind of you. Thank you. We look amazing. No, there's a lot of work too. There's a lot of work that goes into any type of, the way that you look online or anything. It's I will never forget the first time that I actually went on camera without my makeup on to talk to Andy. We had a meeting, and he just looked at me and he was like, "You look different." I'm like, "Yeah, no kidding. You can't see any of my facial features because I am so pale, guys. I'm so pale. And any light and a camera on me just erases my facial features, and you can't see me. The way that I do my makeup for this camera is different from the way that I do my makeup in real life when I'm going to the store. It's just, it doesn't all work. Media is media, and there's so many things behind the scenes that people don't see." So, anyway, that's my little soapbox talk about that, but I think it's important. Yes, Katie, Pale Girls Unite! Put a 1 in the chat if you have ever gone to get makeup and you can't because they don't make a shade pale enough for you. Producer sister is raising her hand.
Yep. I am actually a shade paler than Kim.
Yeah. And
yeah,
I am, for any of my makeup girlies out there in MAC, I am technically what would be considered NC-15, which some of you guys that know those are like probably going, "Oh my gosh, it's bad." You probably need, producer sister, you probably need like NC-05.
Probably.
Like, it's bad.
Yeah, I don't know what my shade is in that.
Yeah.
In MAC.
It's pale. It's pale.
Yep.
Thank you, Linda. Yep. I can confirm.
Yep, Linda's met both of us in person. She can confirm.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Dreadnought asked, but how do you two take the sun? Okay. Here, like where we live, I generally don't do much of anything. I don't really tan. And I don't burn except for my scalp.
Yeah.
So if you see me in the summer, I literally have my part starts on one side of my head and moves across over the course of a week.
And it's just like...
And then I repeat.
And
so
sunscreen on the part.
And sunscreen on the part of my head, or that will burn. And if anyone's ever burnt their scalp before, it is horrid. Like just trying to brush your hair is so painful.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm my hair lightens throughout the summer, so I'm like, by the end of the winter, I'm like a dirty blonde brown, and then by the end of the summer, I'll be closer to blonde.
Yeah.
So the sun just goes right through. However, I did go to British Columbia one year, burnt in a day to a crisp. Have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Similarly, the most burnt I've ever been has been when we went to the Caribbean.
Yeah,
And
I did burn a bit in the Caribbean.
that was bad. It was really, really bad. And after that, I learned that if I was ever going to go somewhere that was sunny, I needed to make sure that I gradually built up a form of a tan. And then when I'm there, I'm using like SPF 60 every day, all the time. And so I usually, if I, like, for example, when I went to Andy's wedding, I built up my tan for about a month and a half before we went to protect myself, because I was wearing a bandage dress to the wedding, and I was like, I do not want something that close to my skin if I am burnt.
Yeah.
That's a no-go for me. So I've just learned that that's how I have to do it. So.
Yeah. And if anyone else has it where their part burns, the sunscreen you can get that's a spray bottle instead of like a cream.
Good times.
It very helpful. Because then you can just spray your head instead of having to like try to massage in a cream. Never ends well.
Yeah. So. I've debated on getting like a parasol, but I'd lose it. I know I'd lose it.
And then you gotta carry it around the store.
I'd lose it the first day I had it. Oh my goodness. Carbonize just said my tan color would be called lobster lover. That's my father.
Oh yeah.
That's my father. Yeah.
He burns.
He burns. Yeah. It's definitely, like, if you're nervous about that and you have really pale skin and you're going somewhere warm, like really warm, and you've never done that before, talk to your doctor and figure out what the smartest way to do it is, because as much as I know a lot of people are like, never tan, never tan, never tan, if you got nothing and you get caught with nothing on you, the burn that you are going to get is going to be far worse. Like, I've spoken with a number of dermatologists because I've got other skin issues too, and it's just, that's the system that's worked the best for me. But clearly check with your doctor. I don't want to tell anybody to go do anything that they shouldn't be doing. So.
And like when you talk about you went to build up your tan before Andy's wedding, you were going into the tanning booth for like 3-4 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah, we worked up.
It was 2 minutes at a time, and I always had I had a protective lotion on my skin. So that was how I was advised to do it a number of years ago, and it's worked very well.
You're not going in for 10 or 15 minutes to bake.
Never. So it's, and if I can, I just do it naturally.
Yeah,
but I'll go out for like 10 minutes a day, and then I'll come back in. And
it's not always possible here when it's minus 20 outside and you're
Carbonize, we got a whole team of White Walkers. Dragon Queen better watch out. Oh my gosh. I have to say, my favorite moment so far this year online of any kind was when Andy and I watched that deep fake of Blake being Daenerys and Ryan being the dragon. Put a what's in the chat if you guys saw that on Popcorn, if you saw it. It's so funny. I was crying. I was crying and crying and crying. It was... the music in the background of the clip was Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For? But of course you can't play that because you'll get hit, like, with copyright. So instead of actually playing the song, and I couldn't do with him because of the time delay, it just would have sounded absolute, like, nightmare fuel. He just meowed. What was I made for? So we're just watching this deep fake of Blake Lively as Daenerys stroking her dragon, which of course had the head of Ryan Reynolds with the meow 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 meow. This is my favorite thing. That's up there with like Lewis's ET commercial. Mm-hmm. It's been 30 years. Oh gosh, the deep cuts. The deep cuts. Lacey. Do you want to come say hello to everybody? Do you guys want to see Lacey? You got dead face. You're sleepy. Here she is. Here's Lacey. How you doing, baby girl? You want to say hi to anybody? Yeah, you just kind of woke up. Oh, thank you. I feel like I could feel you trying. Thank you for the burp. Thank you for the Lacey blessings. We appreciate you. We love you. Everybody's sharing your emoji because you're amazing. Yeah. We love you, baby girl. Good girl. Good girl. Carbonize, thank you for another super chat saying if we tell the church we can blend in with the snow, they'll melt the ice caps again. Save Timmy's. If the men find out we can shapeshift, they're going to tell the church.
Yes.
Oh gosh. This is good. Am I up to date on support? I think I am. I've been trying to keep up with it. Oh, Jilly Bean became a space angel. Thank you so much. I hope I said that right. King Bob's Queen has been a member for 13 months. Saying, imagine attacking someone for being too nice. It happens. It happens. Rando has been a member for 19 months. Rando from Iowa saying, the world we live in now. Oh, I know. I know. I know. And Carbonize also sent in, I'm not sure if I read this one or not, saying, who's that click-clacking over my bridge? Thank you. General Scott gifted another membership. Silky gifted a membership. Pearl Jan sent in the super chat. I think I said that one before. Rosa, I just see member for 18 months. I will check my messages, Rosa. It's hard for me sometimes to stay on top of them. There's been a lot going on, but I will take a look and do my best. Katie Artist said, Kim, did you ever find the ET video? Not the one of us all reacting to it, but I do have the original trailer saved. I keep it on a watch later list, and I laugh at that when I'm sad. It stays with my you should buy my mom's house puppet video, if you guys remember that one. Let me know if you remember that one, because if you don't, that could be a really fun one to actually put on. I don't think I'm going to get copyright struck on that. We haven't yet. We haven't yet. And Lisa Boo, thank you for being a member for 22 months, saying much love, Kim, and producer sisters. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Lisa Boo. You are amazing. Let me see. I'm trying to like keep up with what you guys are saying in the chat. I'm so confused. Dreadnought's like, there's a missing crew member, and then Carbonize says, I'm a goofy goober. I don't know what's happening. What's happening? What is happening? Okay. You guys are weird. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love how weird you guys are. I love this little weird family. We are hilarious. Okay. So we do have a What the What we can get into. Or should I do the it should be you that buys my mom's house?
I don't know.
What do you think, producer sister? Do you guys want to see a weird puppet video?
Can you show it?
I think I can.
Okay.
I think I can. And I mean, besides that, you guys have already supported me quite a bit today, so I do appreciate that. We'll figure it out one way or the other. I may have to trim it out of the stream later if I have an issue, but I think we'll be okay. Let me see if I can find it. Find my mom's house. My understanding is this is a guy, real estate by bike, and he is legitimately a real estate agent and decided to sell his mom's house for her, and made a commercial essentially for it.
I remember this.
Yes. So I'm sorry, producer sister, you're gonna be able to hear it, but it'll come through. So I just want to make sure the sound's working. And I will pause it at points midway through. My mom's house.
It should be you who buys my mom's house. It should be you who buys my mom's house. It should be you who buys the house.
Yes. I'm here for this energy. Is it loud enough for you guys? I hope it's loud enough. Let me know if it's not. I'll have to boost it. But yes, this is my mom's house. You ready? Breakdown.
My mom's house. It should be you. My mom's house. It could be you. My mom's house. It should be you. Should be you. Should be you. Should be you.
It's fabulous. I'm glad you guys like it. This is one of these videos I put on whenever I'm sad and it makes me laugh. It's just so good. It's so good.
Hey, whoa, is that a barbecue? Are those crown moldings? Finished basement? Are they a drum set over there?
Yes. Drum set. Drum set Muppets. Always here for it. Kayla, why is this? What is this and why do I love it? Because it's amazing. And yes, there was the subliminal by my mom's effing house, which there have been some people who have complained about this and I've been like, that's a choice.
My mom's house. It should be you. My mom's house. It could be you.
This is one of my random, I pull this out when I break tension.
My mom's house. It should be you.
Yeah.
My mom's house.
And this is going to be in your head all day. Not sorry.
My mom's house. It should be you. Should be you. Should be you. Should be you.
His mom's house. And he's done like other videos too that are quite entertaining. I have enjoyed them. My mom's house. You okay, producer sister?
Yep.
I don't even remember how I found that.
I don't remember either.
It's only got like 11K views. It deserves so much more. Oh gosh, I did. I left a comment like 2 years ago. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. There we go. Yeah, exactly, Katie. That's it. That's it. Is that not just horrible? Like, it deserves so much more. It's ridiculous. It makes me really angry because it deserves way better. Right? Silky, I want the house too. It's a nice house. It's got crown moldings and a finished basement. And a drum set in the basement. Buy the effing house. Oh, gosh. Yeah, good times. Good times. All right, are we ready for What the What? Shall we do What the What? Let's do What the What. Okay. It is an Am I the A-hole? Put your judging cap on. It is time. They are asking for judgment, and we shall give it to them. Try not for the drum kit I'm in, right? Right? I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I was looking for a house and I saw that and it was, like, in the area I wanted, I would go. I'd go and look at the house. 100%. And I'd be like, can they be there with the puppet?
Can I be the puppet?
Can I get the puppet with the deal? Here we go. All right. So, am I the a-hole for deciding not to travel because my wife made reservations for Disney again? That's an interesting title. I have the feeling I'm going to have feelings about this.
Yep, a little bit.
Sister. Okay, so.
Not necessarily the way you think you will.
Okay, so. Full disclosure.
Context.
For anyone who has not been around for a super long time, producer sister and I are legitimately sisters, and we grew up in a Disney house. We went to Disney World a lot. Our family had a timeshare down there that made it very affordable for us to be able to go. And we've spent a lot of our lives on Disney properties, Disney cruises, etc. And when it comes to topics to do with Disney parks, we are incredibly opinionated for that reason. So
A little bit.
we take it seriously. I actually did a stream a couple of months ago where I loudly criticized Disney's decision to close Muppet Vision 3D. I am still loudly criticizing this decision. I think it is one of the dumbest things they have ever chosen to do, and it is incredibly disrespectful and went through the lore of why. And in my opinion, and in allegedly, well, not allegedly, he said it, it was quoted, Frank Oz's opinion that Disney played a major role in the death of Jim Henson. So that's that's a whole thing. Some of this stuff gets pretty serious. We get pretty heated. But
we have a lot of feelings about the way the parks are being run right now.
Many.
As compared to what it was.
Many. We are not impressed right now with what is going on.
No.
And for good reason.
We have not been to the parks since 2019.
Yeah.
Yes, 2019.
Yes. Yeah. And as sad as I am, like, there was a part of me that was like, Muppet Vision's done in May.
Yeah.
It's over. And there's a part of me that's like, should I just go and be there again? And I can't. Especially now, I can't. I can't do it, and it sucks.
Yep.
It sucks.
But we know that whole pre-show verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know the whole show verbatim.
Verbatim. Yeah, we know it. Okay, so let's do it. Let's find out.
Pre-show.
Trigger warning, general discussion of a car accident, but no graphic details, okay? Just
so
you
you're
guys are
all aware. We're not going to get... Because I know that can be tough for some people. So... just want to make sure you're aware of that beforehand, but we are not going to get into any details of, or any details that would make someone uncomfortable, I don't think. So.
Yeah. And good night, Darkle. I hope I said that right. Have a good night. All right, let's go. My wife Jess and I have been married for the past 13 years. We're both 39. Okay. After experiencing financial hardship throughout our 20s and early 30s, Jess and I are now fortunate enough that we have the means to travel once or twice a year. The only problem is that Jess literally only wants to go to Disney World. We have been to Disney 9 times now, and every vacation we have ever taken was to go there, including our honeymoon. So we go, we eat the Mickey Mouse ice cream, we wear the mouse ears, we stay in the official hotels, we see the characters, we ride the rides, we take pictures in front of Cinderella's castle, and we come home. Every trip. I'm honestly beyond sick of Disney. I never really liked going in the first place. Jess knows this, but she has no concept of travel beyond Disney. Okay. We are currently planning a trip for April, and Jess, as usual, said we can just go to Disney. I explained that that sounds fun, but hey, why don't we go somewhere like Hawaii this time? Jess was confused. She asked why we would go to Hawaii. I responded that we can enjoy the spas and go to the beach. Jess mumbled a half-hearted answer and walked away. A few days later, she approached me saying she made a hotel reservations for Hawaii. At first, I was excited, although she did so without consulting me. It seemed like she was really listening, but then she showed me the hotel she booked. I found she had made reservations for, I can never say it, producer sister. Aulani?
I think.
The Disney resort in Hawaii, which I have heard is stunning, but it is incredibly expensive. So that's quite a trip. Frustrated, I told her that I'm honestly tired of Disney and I just want to have a different experience this time. She told me that she was compromising with me and that I should be appreciative for the time she spent. Oh, okay. I asked her if she was willing to consider anything other than Disney for our trip, and she said no. At this point, I said I wasn't going. Now she's furious. She canceled the reservation she made, and now she's looking for a friend to go to Disney World with her again without me. Was I the a-hole for not trying to accommodate her request? I mean, I don't think so. I kind of feel like if you can go once or twice a year on vacation, maybe it's like one vacation you should get to choose and one vacation Jess should get to choose.
That's what I was thinking. Like, you just rotate back and forth. You get to pick where you're going, then they get to pick back and forth. You both get something. Or my other thing is go to Paris or Tokyo, and then you can have a couple days at the parks there, and then experience the city and all the other things that they have
100%.
to offer.
Because there's Tokyo, there's Disneyland Paris,
Shanghai,
Hong Kong. There's
and
lots
Cali
of
as well.
options. Okay, so let's do. And the thing too, I don't really feel like it was a compromise for her to do that. She just went above his head, and just did it, and thought that he would just kind of roll over, and that's not really a nice thing to do.
That's a lot of money to spend, without telling your partner.
Yeah.
Holy jumping.
That's a lot. Okay, so I'm asking, is OP or original poster the a-hole? So is the person who wrote this in the wrong? Is the question in the poll? You guys weigh in and you let me know. I mean, I feel like, too, the other thing I will say when it comes to Disney World in particular is the property of Walt Disney World is massive.
48 square miles.
And there's a lot to do there. And you can have a vacation in Disney World and Walt Disney World and not go to the parks.
Yep.
Very
We've done it.
easily. You can have, I mean, I have had trips where we've gone there for just my mental health. Where I really haven't gone to the parks. I just kind of chilled at the resort by the pool, and I just went there because it was a safe place, it was a happy place, and I could. And it...
Well, the timeshare allowed us to do that.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Not everybody has that, and I mean, it's not the same now as it was then either, in all fairness.
But we've definitely done a few trips where we just went, and we couldn't afford the added cost of going to the parks, so we didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think the thing, too, was with us, like, we got the annuals, right?
For a time we did, because it was cheaper.
Because it made more sense.
I mean, the prices for the annuals have, like, quadrupled from
what they were. But there were some trips we were able to pull off that it would be unreal. Like, if we told you what it actually cost us to go, you wouldn't believe us.
There was a point in time where it was less than $10 a day to go to the parks.
Yeah. So if there were good flights... And it was like $100 there and back, and we had the timeshare that we didn't have to pay for the hotel room, and it was $10 a day to go to the parks. Guess what we did, you know? But yeah, I don't think this guy is the a-hole. Everybody should want to go. Everybody that's going on a trip should want to go. It shouldn't be we're only going for one person.
Or you rotate.
So one person said that the OP is the a-hole. If you are that one person, I'd like to know why you think that, and we can talk about it. Yeah, the 4% is the girlfriend, Cassinia. Casina? I hope I said that right. I'm so sorry. All right, I am going to stop the poll. I think most of us are in agreement that he is not the a-hole.
But the question is now, where does this story go from here?
Yeah.
Because goodness knows, it ain't over.
Yeah. Okay, so top comments. Commenter 1. How the F did this go on for 9 trips without you saying something? I'd have gone mad after going the second time. I mean, there is a level here where he should stick up for himself, right? Yeah. Commenter 2. For F's sake, does she realize there's a whole non-Disney World out there and it's much less expensive with shorter lines? Commenter 3. However, you should also consider being more truthful with your wife. If you can't even be truthful to your wife, who can you be truthful with? It's obviously did not sound fun to you at all. So just to be clear on that fact, in fact, the second time she booked the Disney trip, you should have been honest with her, suggesting something else. Commenter 4. At 39, it might be time to consider broadening her horizons and experiencing more of what the world has to offer. Life is too short to be spent solely between home and Disney when there is so much out there waiting to be explored. Yeah. Yeah, I hear those. Yeah. Lena Jones says, look, I don't like change personally. I'm very wary of the surprises because I'm usually disappointed, but sometimes change can be good. And I mean, you have to take into consideration what other people want, especially when it's your husband, which is totally fair. It's totally fair. I think depending on the trip, like now if I could do it all again, I would probably do my honeymoon at Disney. Mm-hmm. Because my honeymoon was a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And
not because of her husband.
No we're gonna try our anniversary is this month, and we're trying to have a couple days away and do something. We've been together 20 years, it's time to try to do something. So it's, but I decided to be adventurous and to try something different. And unfortunately, the management of the resort when I booked and the management when I got to the resort had changed, and everything had changed. And it was not safe was the biggest issue. Yep. It was not safe. And it was scary. It was literally scary at points. So tread not. And it's Kim. Crowdfund Kim's second honeymoon. You don't need to do that. As always, if you want to support me, like, sub, comment, all those good things. Support the way that you feel comfortable with. I appreciate it all, but not necessary. Not necessary. Okay. Yeah, it was literally when we checked into the hotel at the honeymoon. After our flight had been canceled, we experienced mass turbulence. Well, it wasn't canceled. We got on the first flight. We flew all the way to our destination. We weren't allowed to land because I found out later we had a fugitive on board that they had not properly vetted. I found that out behind the scenes with people who worked at the airline that weren't supposed to tell me. And then so we had to fly back to Toronto. While we were doing that, the plane started experiencing problems. We hit mass turbulence. We dropped thousands of feet in the air. The lights went out. We honestly weren't sure if we were going to die on that plane. We land back in Toronto. They wouldn't give us a hotel. My husband then had to fight with them to give us a hotel. Because we didn't have our car. Like,
I had dropped them off at the
airport, right? Because we didn't want to pay pay parking for our car for a week. So then
at that point we lived in the GTA. So
yeah. So then we got back on the plane, went to the Dominican where our resort was. They had given away our room, even though they had been notified of what had happened by the travel agency. They did it anyway. They gave us a room. That room did not have a locking door. And that was when we found out that since the new management had taken over, the resort was now a hotspot for the adult industry, as well as, I'm going to say, the substance industry. And we could not lock our door. So then we had to start, and they gave us a safe that did not work. So we had no way to protect anything that we had with us.
Like your passport?
Yeah, or to protect our room. And people were using substances and were not in their right mind. There were used balloon-like objects that are used during adult activities that were floating around in the pools, things of that nature. So we ended up basically hiding in our room, which also had massive water damage. And we ended up having to escalate the situation. Then we got sent to another area in the resort. There was an air conditioning unit then in that room that the bottom of it, like the filter, I don't even know what to call it, but it was in the ceiling. And it broke, or something burst. I'm not quite sure what happened, but all I know is that we were finally laying in bed after like 3 days of not being able to sleep after my wedding, and I hadn't slept for like the day at least before my wedding, that the part of the ceiling fell out, and then it was just like a rainstorm coming down in our hotel room. So we then had to leave the room, have them come in and repair it, and then got back in the room. And anytime we left the room, we were getting targeted by the timeshare people. And I had no interest in buying any timeshare at this location. For reasons.
I can't imagine why.
And then when we were there, the food wasn't super duper great. And when I got home from the honeymoon, I felt terrible. And I ended up finally going to urgent care. I'm sorry, I know I'm going off at a tangent, but do you guys want me to stop?
I think they're invested.
I think we're invested. I'm seeing comments. Okay. So I was feeling awful. I was having so much pain in my stomach, and I didn't know what was going on. So I left work. I went to urgent care, and they were like, okay, we need to do an ultrasound. And I was like, okay. And we did that, and there wasn't anything that they could really see. Ran some tests, and then I found out that I actually brought home a parasite because the food was not cooked properly while I was there. And I had taken I was being invested. I had taken every precaution, like every vaccine you can get before you go, to make sure that, you shouldn't get sick. That didn't work. And then I had to go on Cipro, which is what they give people after they ingest anthrax. And that has the side effects of bone pain. So that was fun. And that was my honeymoon. It was a great time. It was wonderful. I'm hoping that our weekend away will be better. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I say I do wish sometimes I had just gone to Disney. I do wish I had just gone to Disney. Yeah. Yeah, worst honeymoon ever. And had nothing to do with my husband. My husband was the only thing keeping me sane. Only thing keeping me sane. So I do understand sometimes you just want to go where you know things are going to be okay and they're going to be safe. And I do understand that. But there also is a point where Jackie's wife said, "Are you going back?" No! I'd sooner light the place on fire. No, it was horrible. Aw, thank you, Judy. The worse the honeymoon, the better the marriage. Aw, thank you. Thank you. It was awful. It was awful. So, anyway, okay, let's see what the update is. Let's see the update. Not the a-hole was the ranking. I would agree with this. Okay, so 1 week later, update. About a week ago, I made a post about an argument with my wife, Jess, that my wife, Jess, and I had. The too long didn't read version of it is Jess loves going to Disney World. We've gone there literally for every trip during our marriage, which is now at an impressive 9 times. When I asked Jess if we could go somewhere like Hawaii, she suggested Lonnie, the Disney resort, and I dismissed the idea immediately. This upset Jess. Here's the update. I screwed up. I know most people were giving me the not the a-hole judgment, but Jess actually showed a great deal of openness to my idea. She took initiative by reserving the hotel because she wanted me to be happy. When I said, nope, no Disney, she had felt that I hadn't put any effort into taking her feelings into consideration, and she was completely right. I hadn't. In a twisted way, my form of revenge for dragging me to Disney World all of those times. I disagree, but okay. And the last post, some people commented about how Alani barely even looks like a Disney resort at all. This is something I should have researched myself before I threw the gauntlet down with Jess. When I looked into it, it looks like a run-of-the-mill Hawaiian resort. In my defense, going to Disney World 9 times has kind of made me sensitive, and I'm fairly sure that on a Rorschach test, I'd see nothing but mouse ears at this point. But I really should have not jumped to conclusions. The day after I made the post, I approached Jess and apologized. I was wrong. Yes, she might be a Disney adult, but aside from always wanting to go to their theme parks, she's never obnoxious about it. I said I was sorry, and I asked for permission to reserve the hotel again. And Jess responded that she'd love to go to Alani with me. When I told her that that's not really at all Disney, Jess said, of course, I knew that, but I wanted to go because my sister said it was beautiful. I'm a moron. Jess and I have replanned our vacation, and we're super excited to be going now. I came to this realization because a lot of people pointed out some things I should have figured out myself. Thank you. Okay, so comments. Commenter 1. Man, did you get gaslit. 9 effing vacations in a row to Disney. Did she take your feelings into account in any of those 9 times? Nope. Commenter 2. What do you mean she's never been obnoxious about it? She dragged you to Disney 9 times in your marriage, ignoring your communicating that you wanted to go somewhere else. When did you put your foot down? Or when you put your foot down, she scheduled the 10th Disney vacation, just a different Disney location. Is this even OP? Did she tie you up and gag you with Mickey Mouse ears typing in your account? Because her behavior is not okay. And a 10th Disney vacation, when you said no more Disney, is a zero compromise on her part. Do you need to be extracted? Commenter 3. This update actually makes me sad. I'm sure Alani is lovely, but Jess is still not considering your feelings. And you still aren't standing up for yourself. You need to communicate respectfully, calmly, like adults. Maybe this is a good bridge to less Disney-centric vacations, maybe not. But unless you communicate your frustrations, you're going to be going into something Disney-themed next time, too. I feel like, okay, here's the thing. I feel like if this was my situation, I'd be like, what if we did a couple nights at Alani, and then we did something completely different?
Yeah.
So I get my Disney hit, like if that's what I really wanted, and then you get to do something else entirely different, and I broaden my horizons.
But I do get people's point of she's gotten what she's wanted for 9 trips.
Yeah.
Why do you have to now compromise on trip 10.
Yeah. I
I can't say too much because there's 2 more updates and I know what they say.
oh no.
So
Okay.
I'm kind of jaded.
Okay.
Not gonna lie. But
Am I gonna have more feelings?
oh my gosh, yes. We haven't hit the good part yet.
Okay. Okay.
But it's like, I do get it. There's no theme park or whatnot in Hawaii. So it's similar to like Hilton Head or Vero Beach, some of the other properties they have.
And that's what I mean. Like, I think if I could do my honeymoon again, I probably would have done Vero.
Mhm.
Nothing like Vero Beach is just a resort on the beach. Vero Beach in Florida. It's a Disney resort, but there's no theme park. There's no nothing. There are some themed events. You know, there are some characters sometimes, but it's a much more chill atmosphere.
And I think for me, what it comes down to is she booked it without talking to him.
Yeah.
There was no communication there. If she had like brought this to him and said it's under their umbrella, so you know a bit more about the quality of the resort and the service and all that kind of stuff of what the standards are.
Yeah.
It has a bit of theming, but it's still a very Hawaiian resort. Why don't we try this?
Mm-hmm.
That would have been, I would have felt a bit different, I think.
I think there's also like, and this has kind of been a thing that I've done with my husband in the past, that it's like, if I'm thinking, you know, this could be a really nice thing for us to do, we can afford to do so, and it's a really good deal. So, and it has a free cancellation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to book something now because I want to lock in that number. I want to lock in that cost.
Yeah.
If I wait until you come home or whatever and we talk to you, there is a chance that's going to be gone. And then I'm going to be regretting it. But if I just book it and then I tell you, hey, I saw this, I booked it. If you don't want to go, if you don't think this is the right idea, you're not feeling it, you don't like it, we can cancel it. No harm, no foul.
Yeah. Just say, I booked something, but I have 48 hours to cancel it without any repercussions. Let's discuss it. But
100%.
I wanted to lock in the numbers that I was seeing.
Mm-hmm. Great. So, and I think that that's reasonable. And there are times where sometimes I think when you're married, you know, when you're in a committed relationship, you can't always get their opinion that exact second that you may need it. And you have to make a judgment call of what you think is best for the both of you. And so maybe it was something like that, that like she got a promo for Alani. And if you do, and you get that when it is, can you actually look up how much it is to stay at Alani?
Oh gosh.
Producer sister?
There's going to be a range.
Just even like low season. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
basic room. So it's like, if you could get like a good deal on that, I understand jumping at that and going, we'll deal with it one way or the other.
Okay, there's a 25% off offer for April 11th to June 11th.
Okay.
Let's view the offer.
View the offer. We are going to find out. We're going to find out.
It is searching.
It is searching. Searching. I will say, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the support you have sent in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the views. Thank you for being here. Please make sure you've subbed. All that good stuff. It means the world to me, and I do really, really appreciate you guys.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh, what?
Okay, so a partial ocean view is what this room is called.
Okay.
This is the top result I got. This is with their 25% discount. This room has 2 queen beds or 1 king and a queen sofa. It is $758 US a night.
Yep. So
that's the 25% off deal.
So partial ocean view regularly would be at least $1,000.
It's $947.50, and this excludes tax.
And there probably is also like service fees, hotel fees, booking fees,
plus flights,
plus
food,
because this is not an all-inclusive resort.
Nope.
So you still have to pay all of your food.
Oh man,
what?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
I'm just going through all the ands in my brain, and wow.
So easily, if with flights, if you did a week, you're looking at probably about $10,000.
Yeah, more for those of us who aren't in US dollars.
Yes. Wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
that's a lot. So what I'm saying is, if she randomly got a really good offer for Alani, and it was worth it, and she could get free cancellation, and you could afford it, I would see why you would jump. But it doesn't feel like that's what happened here.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, Dreadnought said on prices, when I was looking for our wedding venue, we found a place that offered a whole house and grounds for £135,000 per day, and they required a 2-day booking?
Wow. Oh my gosh.
People have lost their minds. People have lost their ever-loving minds! Oh my gosh. That's terrifying. Okay, we should keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 weeks later. Hi again, everybody. The situation started because my wife, Jess, and I had an argument about going to Disney World vacation again. I didn't want to go because we'd already been there 9 times. When I suggested Hawaii, Jess made reservations at Alani, which is a Disney-owned resort. I immediately rejected this idea, mistakenly believing that it was just another Disney vacation. Eventually, I realized I was wrong and that Alani was a perfectly fine compromise. Unfortunately, we will not be going to Alani for an upcoming vacation. A couple of days after Christmas, Jess had a minor car accident. She mistook the drive for reverse and backed into our garage door. Ugh. When I heard the loud bang, I ran outside. I found Jess holding her neck in the car. I immediately drove her to the hospital. She got x-rays done. She seemed fine, but the doctor said based on her symptoms, headache, neck pain, numbness in her fingers, she could have whiplash. That sounds about right.
That's the car accident and the aforementioned trigger warning.
Okay.
So nothing graphic.
Yeah. Jess and I figured she would be fine in a couple of days. Almost 2 weeks later, she's still complaining about back pain. Yesterday, she approached me saying that she wasn't confident she'd go to Hawaii in a few months. I asked her what she wanted to do. While apologizing profusely, she asked me if we could postpone that trip. I responded that she had absolutely nothing to apologize for. After that, she said she felt bad about not being able to go to Hawaii, but she might be able to make it to Disney World. Ma'am?
I have so many feelings about this.
What is the difference? What is the difference? Because I will say I had a foot injury a number of years ago, and my foot was in a boot. And you guys were already planning on going, and I bummed a ride in the car to get down there, and I stayed at the resort in the hotel, mostly in the room and by the pool, for a couple of days. And I was able to keep my foot up, and my doctors wanted me to keep it moving somewhat, so they thought that it was a good idea for me to go, and I went. There's no way I could have done the parks. There's no way I could have done the majority of what people normally do when they go to Disney. But I don't think going somewhere, for a change of scenery, if you're not feeling well and you're recovering, is necessarily a bad thing. But what...
I'm sorry. You're telling me that you are in so much distress and pain that you can't get on a plane and fly to Hawaii to lie on the beach and get spa treatments, but you are good enough to fly to Disney World and go on rides.
I'm assuming.
Make it make sense.
I'm just saying there's a difference between if I go to Disney and I go, no, we're gonna go do food and wine, and I'm gonna get a power chair, which is a dangerous combination.
Oh yeah,
but it happens. Okay. When I didn't understand at first, she told me that it was very highly had very high accessibility, and in worst case scenario, ECV rentals. She doubts that would be necessary, but assured me we could take it easy there.
You can also take it easy at the beach in Hawaii,
which I assume also probably has high accessibility because that's very standard with Disney properties. I know this isn't the conclusion people here wanted, and it's certainly not what I wanted to do with my next vacation, but Jess's health has to come first here. We made our reservations. It's not where I want to go, but Jess is super happy right now, and that's what matters most to me. What? Thank you all for your... Bro, we need a marriage counselor. What is happening? General Scott said, did she hit the garage door on purpose? I don't know. I'd hope not. That's awful. But, like, what are you doing? Comments. Commenter 1. A resort is indefinitely more relaxing and easier than Disney for even non-injured people. I think you got played, buddy. Disney adults be scheming. Yeah. Commenter 2. Oh, she good. Master manipulator. Time to get out, bro. You're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. Commenter 3. She literally did this on purpose. You keep getting sucked into it, and you will always get sucked into it because you have no backbone. Good luck with the rest of your life. I mean, I kind of feel like at this point, like maybe you should take the money, fix your garage door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing there's damage to that or the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe get her some physio.
Mm-hmm.
And not go. Period. Maybe do a local spa.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that?
So,
Why not?
we have one more update.
Okay.
What do you think happens?
Kyle just said, divorce, babe, divorce. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think this is going to go well. Because I bet if they do go to Disney, she's going to act like she's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess, and it's going to be bad. You're laughing. I'm guessing I'm on the right track.
Not quite.
Okay. Alrighty. What?
Scott just
Dude,
said,
take the money and get a divorce lawyer? Okay. Update. If you haven't been following, okay, I'm not doing the too long didn't read we now. So long story short, last week Jess overplayed her hand. Even before that, I found her recounting of the car accident and the extent of her injuries suspicious. When she doesn't know I'm watching, she moves normally and will pick up things off the floor and generally seems healthy. When she sees me nearby, she exaggerates every movement, holds her lower back, and limps. Oh, girl! Mm-mm. Well, on Saturday, Jess approached me saying she wanted to move. This made no sense. We had so little money throughout our 20s and early 30s, and now we were financially well off solely because I finally have an amazing job in our area. Jess said she understood this, but she argued she wanted to live closer to her parents, and she asked me to move to Orlando with her. Oh my gosh!
For those who don't know, Disney World is in Orlando.
So you're just gonna move there? What, do you want to move to Golden Oak?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shut the... Okay, just so you guys know, Golden Oak is a specific neighborhood on Disney property, and I can tell you right now, none of us could go there to stay there, very likely, because we would all have...
insufficient funds. You ain't got no money. Woo.
The place is like, you have to be a 1%er, pretty much, to be able to go there. It is incredibly expensive. That's the joke.
Didn't Bill Gates have a house there at one point?
Yes, that's how it all started.
Yeah.
My understanding, it was something between Eisner and Gates, and they were like, we're going to make these like custom Disney mansions, and they're going to get their own transportation and everything and have their own place and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It's like a whole thing. Okay. So first off, her parents do not live in Orlando. They live in Atlanta, which is smack dab right in between where we currently live and Orlando.
I looked it up. The flight from Atlanta to Orlando is 1 hour and 20 minutes. To drive, it is 6 hours.
Okay.
This is not closer to her parents.
Just cited there would be more flight options, and then she tacked on that she might have a job opportunity in Orlando. Girl, that job opportunity better be incredible. When I asked her to show me the job, she showed me a $16 an hour sales associate position for a sector where she has absolutely zero knowledge and experience. I'm not proud of this, but I snapped. I am proud of you, sir. The amount of restraint you have shown up until this point. Oh my gosh. I told her she just wanted to move closer to Disney World and she was tearing our lives up so she could go take pictures with Disney princesses and that she was a horrible wife. just denied this naturally, and she told me that she was moving to Orlando with or without me because her parents need her. Bye!
You're 6 hours away from your parents. If
What?
your parents need you, then move to Atlanta. Also,
You think you can afford Disney
Thank you.
passes if you've got a $16 an hour? Stop! Stop! This is why Disney adults get a bad name, is people like you. Many of them are not crazy. Wow. After this, Jess went to her room and started listening to Disney music with her volume at max, singing along. Is she having a psychotic break?
I don't know at this point.
I listened to her rendition of Let It Go more times than I can count. Maybe it refers to me here. She told me that she was moving to Orlando with or without me, and
Sorry,
said
the next morning.
the next morning she told me she was moving to Orlando with or without me, and said that if I want to be a piece of ish husband, I can stay where I am. I'm going to be a piece of ish husband. Good for you. Good for you. I've tried to deny the obvious because it would make Jess happy, but I can't anymore. I just want to be alone. I wasn't responding to your comments, but they've helped me more than you know. Thank you to everyone who posted. I'm sorry?
Just drop her off at Small World and be done with it.
This is like a level of crazy unhinged I was not prepared for. That is... Ma'am. Did she honestly like have like a 12-year-old temper tantrum and went upstairs to her room and sang Elsa?
Yes.
You know what? I feel like if I was him, if she had like left the house, I might have packed her bags, put them at the front door, and then when she came home, I would have just had your welcome blaring.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, you're welcome. Go to Orlando, have fun. Have fun. Divorce. Oh my gosh. Okay, comments. Commenter 1. Jess has truly reached the ultimate level of Disney obsession. Moving just to be closer to Disney World, we stan a committed fan. I mean, I hope she starts working for them at this point, because maybe that's where she needs to go.
It's the only way she's going to be able to afford it.
Yeah.
I mean, a $16 an hour job is not going to cut it.
Try not! It's on the screen. I'm just gonna let it go on the screen. That is a horror movie waiting to happen. Oh my gosh.
I will tell you more about that because after you finish.
What?
Just keep going.
Okay. Okay, so OP. Yes, I'm an effing idiot for going along with it this long. I just wanted her to be happy. Commenter 2. Let her go. Let her go. OP, dude, please. And she kept delivering that the cold never bothered me anyway in such like a catty line. like, dude, you're moving to Florida. It's the end of January and it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit. I can say this with much authority. To the average Floridian, the cold bothers them. I'm sorry, it does.
Everyone would look at us weird because we'd go swimming in the winter.
Absolutely. I go swimming like in February.
And they'd walk past her like, you're from Canada, aren't you?
That would
We're
literally be like, you're Canadian, aren't you? And I'd be like, yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And they'd have like parkas on and we're in shorts.
I mean, I always just kind of wore like a t-shirt and jeans and that was
Yeah.
the end of it. People were like, aren't you cold? And I'm like, no, this is nice. This is nice. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Okay, what about Minnie and Dreadnoughts comment? I'm gonna need some context here.
If you look actually in the Reddit thread, okay, first off, OP has deleted his account. So
Okay.
at this point, I don't think we're going to get any more updates.
Fair enough.
Because it is what it is. But it's all compiled in a best of Reddit thread.
Okay.
So in the comments to this, this thread of comments kind of took off in a life of its own. And someone said this sounds like the prelude to her becoming an S-iller that stalks the actors who played Disney princesses and winds up wearing their faces and costumes.
What? That got dark. All the friends of the princesses were gonna go after them?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Which then continued, as Reddit does, of people, I'd watch this series. I'd watch one episode, maybe a two-parter. Done by the right person, this would be a terrifying horror flick.
It's like a Disney princess remix, how it puts the lotion on its skin. Like, what is about to happen here? I'm scared.
So it just kind of kept going. There's all sorts of comments.
I do want to say quickly, thank you so much to Megan for the PayPal you just sent me. That's so kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you for your message. You are wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And I think with that, we're in last call. We're in last call.
Did that go where you thought it would?
No. No. My goodness. Okay. Also, I know I need to catch up here. Crystal R has been a member for 11 months. Thank you for the laugh. I really needed this. I'm glad. Kimberly in Japan randomly, miraculously woke up, sending love. 15 months of memberships. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing okay. And Bernice has been a member for 7 months, saying, hi, Kim. Hope all is well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for 7 months of support. This was a lot. That's exactly, Silky. That's when things went weird. It's also just the fact that it's like, Alani wasn't good enough for you?
Nope, she wanted, and that was the thing, is you look back at it now, and the Parks was never, it was never a compromise for her.
So bizarre. Can you imagine too, like, you have to get a divorce attorney?
Yeah.
And explain this to them?
Just read the Reddit thread.
Like,
just send a link.
You know, and I can't. Like, I'm all here for going to Disney. I'm all here for, you know, for you guys that don't know, Space Angels, the term, is actually something that started, like, in Disney World. It's a reference to Sunny Eclipse, who is an animatronic that performs at a burger restaurant just outside of Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom, and he has backup singers you cannot see, called the Space Angels. And that's part of the origination of the term. But I mean, this is bananas. Oh gosh, Dreadnought just said, if YouTube been to Disney in the past 10 years, you might have met Jess and not known it. I don't think we really would have talked to Jess.
No, this is just recent.
This is recent?
This thread started in December.
Oh my gosh. I mean, good luck doing anything at Disney on a $16 an hour salary.
That last update was January 27th.
Wow.
So like 6 weeks ago.
Jess, you're going to be living on the bare necessities, let me tell you. This is really bad. I can't. Oh gosh. I can't. Oh man. Jane just said my wife wants to be Elsa. I mean, Elsa's single. I guess that works.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Well, guys, this is the last part of the show. This is where, if you have any last questions, any last support, you want to send in anything you want to say, this is last call. Let me know, and we will be winding down the stream shortly. My goodness. That was a lot, Robin.
You're welcome.
That was a lot. This whole show has been quite strange. We literally went from the troll told to you should buy my mom's house to a grown woman screaming let it go in her bedroom because she wants to move to Disney World.
Yep.
Wow. That's a lot. Oh, Michelle, thank you for making my trip back home fun, Kim. You're welcome. I hope you're doing okay. I hope it's going well. I hope you're safe. And my honeymoon. Yes, Katie, you're right. Yeah. And that's what I mean. I kind of wish I had just gone to Disney because it would have been better. I would have been safer. But, you know, it wasn't like that when I booked it.
Nope.
The reviews were very different when I booked it. The staff was very different when I booked it. Bad day. Oh, Michelle, I hope you get some sleep. It sucks. Traveling is so draining.
Oh, yeah.
So draining. bad dazer. He's tied to the bed. I can't. Oh my gosh. Oh, nuts. Yeah, Kyle, she could be a villain in Pooh and Blood and Honey 3, 100%. That stuff is nuts, eh?
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, King Bob said maybe she can get a job at Disney as Elsa. Probably not. I'm not gonna lie to you. There are, how do I put this? Friends of characters have a very strict audition process and a very strict physical process. And it is simply because they need, particularly friends of characters, the face characters as they're called, I believe, they all have to look similar, because if you have a kid that, for example, is seeing Elsa at Magic Kingdom and then later on in the week they go and see Elsa at Hollywood Studios, they need to look similar enough that they can get away with it. And that means that there's a very high standard of what someone needs to look like, what their height is, what their weight is, all that stuff. And it's very, very difficult. Ages, it's brutal. It is absolutely brutal. You have a better chance of getting a character role or being a friend of a character if you are wearing a full costume, but even at that point your height must be exact. And it's hard to act in one of those costumes, especially in the heat.
Yep.
And be consistent with your movements and all that other type of stuff. It's a lot.
I think any job there, like, the interview process is very grueling.
Yes.
Like, for those who don't know, I've actually been through it. Back in the day, I interviewed for a job at the Canadian Pavilion, which I ultimately did get, but the timing just it didn't work out, so I didn't end up going. But I had a written interview, a phone interview. I had a full day. I had to go to downtown Toronto at a hotel, and it was a full day interview.
Yeah.
And that it was, there's a lot involved. And that was just to be at a pavilion.
Yeah.
That wasn't to be a character or anything like that. So
it's kind of one of those things, like when I was a kid, I was like, oh, it would be fun to do that as a job. And then the more I learned about it as I got older, I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Too much stress. And it's like you have to do your own makeup too, from what I've heard as well. It's like a lot. So you have to learn how to, it's a lot. It's a lot. See here. Alrighty. Well, guys, I think I am going to wind down this stream. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for being here today and, supporting me the way that you have. I so appreciate it. I will hopefully see you guys again on Wednesday. And I will see you guys soon. We're going to roll the outro. Anything else you want to say, producer sister?
thanks for being here. Leave a comment after. Let us know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Have you been to Disney? What do you think? Or
Do you have a favorite movie?
do you have a favorite movie? Did you know about the trolls before today? All
Troll
that fun
toll?
stuff. The troll toll.
This is a weird show.
Yep.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day. Bye, everybody.